Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, it is Dave Johnson
Hi guys, how are ya? Guys and ladies.
it's actually winter time, or not winter. I always get that mixed. It's summertime with you, winter time with me. I have this
Yes,
nice little shawl.
yeah, I see you shivering.
Well, this is something somebody made this for me, and whoever is watching, one of my subscribers will know who this is. But yeah, I still have it. It's back in the day when I used to do barter system for readings.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, this was one of my barters. It was
nice one. Okay, great, good for you. I hope they'll think of me in about 6 months. It will get cold again. But right now it's just like it goes from crazy 3 days of rain to so hot that you have to go inside. I was just mentioning to Sheila how I don't tan except in Australia, right? And not you just I cannot put on enough sunscreen. It's just a slightly less ozone, maybe more than slightly.
That is funny. So, what in Fahrenheit, what are the temperatures you guys usually get in the summertime?
Okay, well, you understand that like I no longer know Fahrenheit because everybody speaks in Celsius. So and I'm not that great at math. But it gets last week it got up to 40 degrees Celsius,
Hang on a
which
minute.
is what?
I'll convert that.
Oh, thank you.
What is 40 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? Mommy, Mike, it's 104.
104, yeah. Uh-huh.
Ooh.
So it gets really hot. And there doesn't tend to be, if you go out past the city, they call it the bush because it is a bush. There's not tall trees with shade. So you're really exposed out there in the sun. I gotta always bring a glass of water, always bring a bottle of water whenever you go out. It's just a life thing here.
Well, here, I mean, all the videos and all of the movies and all that we see here in America literally portrays how hot and obnoxious it is. It's like rude.
It is. Yeah, yeah. Well, there's a lot of things about Australia that they portray that aren't totally true. They're a bit exaggeration. It actually does get quite cold, like maybe a little bit colder than San Francisco. San Francisco actually does get cold if you've never been there.
35.
Sometimes it gets cold in the summer.
Yeah. Well, do you guys get? I know I've seen Australia with snow in the mountains, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a place I think it's called Snowy Mountains, probably for obvious reasons. But yeah, you can ski in Australia. It's really expensive, and there aren't that many places to do it, but you can,
Isn't that funny?
isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
I would travel all the way from Colorado to go skiing in Australia. I just don't think that would make sense.
No, not much. Yeah, you might do it to see a kangaroo covered in snow,
Oh no,
because
that
you can see pictures of roos with snow on them.
I would love
Yeah.
it for sure. All right, so let's get caught up. What's going on
Okay.
your channel and what do you offer for the people who are just watching this for the first time and trying to find you
Sure.
and what's going on?
Well, my website is moonride, and I think it's .com.au because I live in Australia. I've been making videos about political situations in the United States for many years, and I still do that. I still do lots of predictions, but I really branched out, and I hope this is not too confusing for people because sometimes they do get confused, and I do a lot of different things, like past life regression, which I really, really enjoy. You go to my videos. I have two channels. You can see them, and I've also done shamanic for many, many years, so I still do that. If you're interested in shamanic journeys, I do those group and one-on-one, and I channel. So I channel, it's a little bit kind of maybe further out than predicting. Sometimes spirit really does just speak through me, and that could come through in a reading if you were interested in that. I also work with a bunch of people, and we channel as a group, and the group is called V Group. And if you get a chance, there's some really, really fascinating information there.
Yeah, I know that on my channel I've been doing a lot of I guess they call it channeling, I call it remote viewing. I don't know.
Mhm.
Whatever it is, but it just seems like each one of us are just getting more, dare I say, powerful. I don't know if that's the right wording, more
Mm-hmm.
information, more open maybe, and more available to the information, or the information is becoming more available to us. I'm not quite sure how to describe that, but I've been noticing that the
Yeah.
those that are they're doing this work are just getting more and more powerful and
Mm-hmm.
all of that. So, all right, well, we have a pretty long list here. I don't know if we're going to get to it
Okay.
all, but we got some really, really
All
good
right.
stuff. Um, so hang in there, everyone.
Sure.
All right. So, first up, and this is just like a one that I've been noticing on my community page and other people's pages and stuff like that. The fatigue of the human race in especially in the United States, the fatigue of fight
Mm-hmm.
is starting to ensue.
Yeah.
Is there any message or anything that you can see that can keep us going?
Good. Okay, I'm so glad you asked that question because Sheila and I, we might be doing really expensive things, but we are feeling it too. Every client is talking about this. It is totally legitimate. You're not alone if you're feeling the fatigue. But what is the answer, Spirit? What should we do about this fatigue? Well, interesting, Sheila. I'm seeing you meditating, right? And you're meditating in this perfect triangle. If you know my work, I'm big on pyramids, and that's just what you're doing. And maybe we can use you, Sheila, as the example. I just see you observing, and as you're observing, you're still engaged, but and again, we're just using you as an example. My advice would be just engage to the degree that you feel is appropriate. All of the outrages that you're seeing, you don't need to respond to all of them. You don't need to know every single bit of information about them. I know I was doing that for a while. And I've just gone a lot easier on myself and just kind of gone for the main points. The other thing I see, Sheila, is you smiling. And I just feel like, let's count our blessings. The Trump didn't win. Um, your viewers, my viewers, all of us got together in a big circle and we really did defeat Trump. I have to say, without, you know, all of the people who are watching right now, we would not have done it. We wouldn't have succeeded. So you want to also notice that we succeeded at something. We didn't fail. We wish this would all go away. The battle isn't over, but the principal portion is done. What else can we say? So take care of yourself, all of the usual stuff. If you want to be a good warrior for justice, and again, I'm saying this to all the people that talk to me, and also saying to myself, because, I don't listen to spirit all the time. I just feel like really take time to go in relaxing places like nature. Recognize that all of us are experiencing post-traumatic stress and we gotta take some time to take care of it. So go into nature. Nature doesn't lie. Nature is nature. It will be a real experience, and ask for peace and calm. Talk about grounding, send extra energy into the earth and ask Mother Earth to transform it for you. She can do anything. Take your time and, realize we all have an important role now. I think the thing that bothers people most is that we feel helpless. Even though we're supposed to live in a democracy, we feel helpless and we feel like we're not making a difference. That is absolutely not the case. And although we might not be able to make a direct difference today, collectively working with others, listening to them, we are making a really big difference. And this is just something we're supposed to learn right now. We're supposed to learn how to address things in a fairly appropriate way. You can get really angry and you can start raging at your crazy uncle and get in a fight and ruin Thanksgiving. or you could approach things in a more, loving way. Let's just say that. And don't forget, too, that's another thing that we're being taught. How can you love those who disagree with you? Maybe there are people you perceive being in delusion, but what do you do about that? If you are the more powerful person that doesn't succumb to delusion, can you have sympathy for that person? Maybe you don't want to be around them, but just look at them as a person who's perhaps, doesn't have all the information that they should have. Maybe you should speak to them, and maybe you shouldn't. But if we don't want to be judged too harshly, we also don't want to judge others too harshly. That doesn't mean what they're doing is okay. It is important to view all people as human beings and fallible human beings. And, be patient, be kind to yourself, address yourself.
That is so true. And the fatigue I think everybody is feeling is, we know that we have to fight. We have to stay in the moment, stay right here. And it's getting exhausting, but we're not giving up yet. I've seen that with a whole,
Yeah.
nobody's giving up, but it would
Mhm.
be nice to not have to keep up with this. You know what I mean?
Yes, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would. It's like we just fought World War II, and then the next day World War II started again. It's
Yeah.
like, or everybody said, no, that didn't happen. There's no World War II. And we're all just going, well, wait a minute. We just saw that. I think it helps if we all get together and acknowledge this, we're being
Great.
gaslight again, right?
Great.
People don't believe what's in front of their eyes.
So here's to go along with this, and then we'll get into some political ones. Okay, so now that we know that the people we're fatigued and we're getting exhausted, how is the earth? Because we're getting more and more volcanoes, earthquakes, floods, storms. I know that in the Bible it says the end of the days is because there's going to be lots of floods, this, that. And so this whole teaching of the idea of what's in the Bible is being now pushed as propaganda, like we're into this, is all ending and stuff like that. And I go, we gotta somehow we gotta jump off that ship. And
Yeah.
let if you can kind of quietly go into the earth and see how it's doing. I mean, who knows? I mean, when she's done with it, she's gonna be done with this. But I just wanted to see if the shifting within her is aligning with the shifting that's going on with us.
Well, it's interesting because when I look at the earth, I see a beautiful woman. Um, I also see the earth cracking. And when you asked some of your questions, she was kind of smiling at me like, hey, I'm not going away. Okay. Don't forget, nature bats last. Right. She will make the ultimate decision. Certainly, there are problems in the planet, and the earth is under a great deal of stress. But notice that, the Earth's still turning and it is indicating these stresses. That's exactly what it should do, right? Watch Florida in its next hurricane. All of those people who voted for DeSantis are going to be in such serious trouble because there aren't people there to repair the houses. They are really going to be in trouble. So we might say, Mother Earth. But Mother Earth is also putting her hands on her hips right now and being like, yeah, guys, get it together. Just like any mom, my job is not just to give you a cookie. Sometimes I'm here to say no, you can't do that. And I do really also get the earth cracking, like a big crack right in the middle. But when you're like, hey, is this the end? I got again, a big wink no. Um, it's just Dolores Cannon talks about the new earth. When people are, predicting the end of times, I think this happened in 2012 with the Aztec or Mayan calendar. What kind of time? They're just talking about a kind of times. There's a couple of thousand years where we're in a certain era, a certain age. And what's happening is we're shifting out of that era. And there's just tons of turmoil. Obviously, the people in power are fighting back. They're still trying to hold on to it. And that's really what Donald Trump represents. It's just people holding on to power that they really shouldn't have. And all this fighting and slipping and moving around, a lot of that is just a breaking open of what is going to be a very different kind of future. We are living in the time where we're in the middle of it. So it's super stressful. We don't know where it's going to go. But there will come a time in 100 years where we'll look back on this and we'll see that the earth just shifted. A more divine experience, and I would say divine feminine, seems to be it. It really, I think you mentioned something like this, your powers are expanding. And I noticed all of my clients' powers are expanding. All of them are getting these new spiritual experiences, literally 100% of them. And they don't know, it's new for them. They don't know where to put this, or they're like, hey, I'm having this experience after, 70 years of life. What does it mean? And it really is affecting everybody out there, this sort of change in spirit. And initially, it's going to be surprising. Maybe you're stepping into the unknown, and that's always unpleasant. But there is an element of spirit that's telling me to trust that Mother Earth knows what she's doing, and trust that we're not gonna end times are not here because somebody's interpreted some book somewhere that they are. What's the meaning of end times? Is it just one world is ending and a new world is beginning? I don't feel at all like this is a bad ending. I feel like it's a new beginning. I see that around me. I see that with my clients all the time. They are getting a new awareness, and it doesn't matter how old they are. They're getting a really great new awareness and a good deal of personal power. All of us are expanding through this difficult work and this difficult time. You might even argue that the difficulty is like contrasting. Mother Earth is so contrasted by the prevailing powers, and the contrast is so great that it's just like flipping back and forth. And that explains a lot of the stress. But it's not the end. It really is a new beginning, a new way of being.
I agree. As you were talking, the thoughts that were going through my head was that the earth and the power within the earth and what is going on, the rearrangements, is also very high vibrating.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, the people who are high vibrators, that doesn't sound right, but you know what I'm the people who are vibrating really high
Uh-huh.
are not afraid of what's going on with the earth.
Mm.
But do you remember back in the day when you were younger, when you weren't vibrating very high and think energy would come towards you or something or stressful or something like that, and you kind of freak out?
Yeah.
And remember those days? And I'm seeing that with a lot of people. I know that I've talked about this before, but the separation of a subspecies is happening. And I believe that wholeheartedly because we're watching it in front of our eyes, the
Hmm.
separation of that. And then the ones that are just not able or just didn't, I don't know. I have no idea why I was chosen and they weren't. I have no clue. However, that separation is happening not only with the earth, but with the humans.
Yeah. Uh-huh. That's very true.
And
Hmm.
then they're just like going crazy inside. They're
Hmm.
angry, they're just they can't
Hmm.
handle this so much pressure and energy that's coming from the humans, coming from the earth, coming from every aspect of it.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, so I was just, as you were talking about that, it's like we need to remember to align ourselves with the earth, because that is the high vibrating energy that we need to connect to.
Yeah.
It's our
Hmm.
teachings. Connect with the earth, ground yourself, put your feet on the, you know what I mean? They talk about it
Yeah.
all the time.
And change is happening really quickly right now. It is super accelerated. Just think about, the last election and the internet. Just the changes that are being brought forward by this technology, I think are so great that the average human can't take it in. We can't manage it. We can't control it. It's been majorly politicized. You know, there's all these naked pictures of Taylor Swift. It's all AI generated,
Of course,
right?
they can't handle themselves.
You know, even though some state governments have laws against it, how are you going to stop it? You
Yep,
know, how are you going to go to Elon Musk and say, stop producing those images?
yep,
You know, think of that. There's tons and tons of that imagery out there. It's going to get worse. So we're just having a lot of trouble creating the rules and the laws that say, you know, you can't ask Russia for help when you're running for president. There's no law that says that. We never imagined we need a law to say that.
yeah,
We're just trying to catch up, and it's troublesome.
yep. It is very troublesome. Um, so let's kind of move out of that, the Earth. And here's the one final thing is the Earth is allowed to rearrange herself just like we are.
Yeah,
She can
sure.
crack wherever she wants. So, all right. So let's move on to the Supreme Court. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So we have the Supreme Court. They're going to be looking at if Colorado and Maine has the right. I think this is the one they were doing, or was this? Yeah, not the immunity one. There's so many of them. Just trying to keep them. So the appellate court was looking at the immunity for Donald Trump.
Hmm.
And the Supreme Court said that, yeah, they will look at and see if Trump can be on the ballot in Colorado and in Maine.
Hmm.
So here's the thing is, I don't know if you can catch what they're thinking. I don't know if you can like catch
Hmm.
and see what they're going to do. I know a lot of us have read on it, but it's still elusive at this point for us sometimes. So maybe
Hmm.
the energy is there, but I want to know what they're going to decide if Trump is going to either if there's two ways of them doing this. Three ways is they can't decide that he's going to be on there. The other one is, yeah, each one of those states have the every right to do whatever they want to do. If he wants to be on there or not, that's up to them. Or the other one is if he's taken off in those two states, he has to be taken off of the ballot throughout the country.
Right.
So those are the three options that they have. So I was just
Okay.
wondering what you can tap into.
So, Kavanaugh is like, I can see Brett Kavanaugh is like, no way. So I think, at least as far as he's concerned, there's no way he would, you know, agree to keep Trump off the ballot. But there are a lot of factors going on. And again, you know, I've always said Republicans will be the one that get rid of Trump. Just like the last election, you know, it really was the Republicans ultimately who had the power to get rid of him. Democrats obviously voted against him. But the same thing's going on right now. They are seriously sitting there, Republicans on the Supreme Court, who will not do anything unless it benefits Republicans, wondering if it is really in their interest to have Trump on the ballot because he is exhibiting such cognitive decline that I think it's pretty debatable. Okay. Huh, that's interesting. So I got three of them that are shaking their heads no way. And to me, this means there's just no question about it. They will absolutely not allow them to keep Trump off the ballot. But there's others who are considering it. Um, the lady, it's Conan Bryant. Sorry, I always forget my nouns when I'm doing this. Um, and the Chief Justice Roberts. They're thinking about it. They're not so sure. Now, I think you got a different impression. You and some other readers got a different impression. But, well, let's just ask. Are you guys going to keep Trump off the ballot? I get a no, but there's a little bit of wiggle room on the no. That is, it might not be just straight up no. There might be some maneuvering around the no. I don't see that they would keep Trump off the ballot unless he were convicted in a court of law. So I think they're a little bit leery of a judge deciding he's guilty before he's actually gone to a trial. But at the same time, they are pretty worried that Trump will be the candidate. So gosh, let's see. Tell me again. What do you guys think? Yeah, I get a no. I don't think that they will exclude him at all. I think that they will find reasons to keep him on the ballot, although they have misgivings about it. Among other things, I don't think they could face the other Republicans. I think they're, worried about the Republican reaction if they were to allow him to take him off the ballot. Let me just go specifically, though, just to make sure. Will they uphold, Spirit, will they uphold Colorado's removing Trump from the ballot? No. Spirit, will they uphold, it's Maine, right? Okay.
Yes.
All right, so Maine. Hmm. It's a little bit more ambiguous. I feel even like they will give um, like almost like a mixed answer for Maine. I don't know how that's possible, but I feel it's generally no. Spirit, will anybody be able to keep, will the nation be able to keep Trump off of the ballot? I'm getting a no. Look, you and I had mentioned this. The election is not going to go the way that it's expected. There's just a lot of things that are going to happen between now and then, including Trump's decline, which I think is another question that we have. But I get a no. I don't think the Supreme Court will take him off. I think that's too radical, and it would not help them personally. These Republicans are all about what helps them personally, and it would not help them.
So it's worth mentioning that if they were going to follow the Constitution, he does not have to be convicted of anything
Right.
to be removed off the ballot, just like Colorado's case proved
Mhm.
that it went through the courts and it was recognized that he did, you know, incite an insurrection against the
Yeah.
itself.
Well, we cannot count on the Republicans on the Supreme
No,
Court to do
but
anything that has to do with the Constitution. They gave that up long ago,
I
right?
agree. So let's go on to Nikki Haley.
Okay.
Okay. So, like I said, all of us out here have been getting surprising results with Nikki Haley and Trump being on the primary ballot and who
Mhm.
is going to be the nominee. So I just want you to see what you see.
Okay, Nikki Haley shows up with a big old sword, and it's not straight. It's like one of those like curvy. It's like a curvy sword, like a snake. She's creepy. She's very creepy to me. Yeah, it's got a lot of dark energy. This woman. Yeah, I just get like Spider Woman. That's what she feels like to me. Okay, she's poking Donald. Right, she's poking him like this. Again, it's kind of great that the principal opponent that he has for the nomination is a woman and a woman of color. So it's like he wants to go after her like he went after Democrats, but he can't quite do it in the same way because of she's a Republican nominee. So she's poking him. It's making him angry and it's making him do stupid stuff. Now, there's nothing new there, but she seems to have a good deal of control, which supports your theory here that I think we mentioned she's a potential, she could be the nominee. I'm not, well, let's see. I do see her getting more success. Yeah. You know, it might be that Trump just doesn't physically make it, that he just doesn't physically survive. I have a theory here. Let's see what you think, Spirit. I have an idea that he'll be nominated, but he won't make it. He won't make it cognitively long enough for him to be the nominee. Um, she's bigger than Trump right now as I look at her image. So is what's going to happen, Spirit? She keeps smiling. She's telling me not to underestimate her. Oh, and the sword has become a drill. And it's like drilling, drilling, drilling. She's happy as can be. Look, I would say that you guys certainly have a point. Those of you who've seen her winning certainly have a point. I don't know how it will go down. So I don't think she will be, maybe she will not be initially the nominee. So maybe she'll be like his VP and take his place. She's not so, when I look at Nikki Haley's face, she's not so sure about that. So Spirit, was Trump going to be the nominee? So I get a yes, but he looks really glum. Trump looks like I just told him he's got a week to live. So are you going to be the candidate? Yeah, I mean, he could get nominated and then be put in prison and then decide he's not the nominee anymore. So will Trump be nominated? I kind of have a feeling that he will maybe initially be nominated, but that and this is again my theory, but that something will happen so that he cannot run, or that his run is obviously just, you know, it's obvious that the person who's the VP will really be the president because Trump won't make it. Is there anything else that we can know about this? Something big is going to change. There's going to be a big, big change between now and the election. And I keep seeing this in a variety of ways, but like a big bomb goes off and Haley's like really happy about it. I don't think this is a literal bomb, but you know, there are a lot of wars going on right now. And when things come out, you know, if we find out more information about Trump's involvement with Putin, it could come back to haunt
We
him.
just want to entertainment purposes only. There's not going to be an actual bomb.
Yeah, so don't pack your bags. Um, let's see if there anything else about this. Look, Haley keeps showing up as a strong nominee. I have predicted a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, that Trump would indeed be the nominee. And I don't think that that is wrong. But it could be that she just replaces him in the nominee. Something phenomenal and very unusual will happen between now and the election. That's what I can tell you. And Nikki Haley does not appear at all disappointed. So I just think we should be prepared for, we should very much be prepared for Nikki Haley. And that's not so good for us. I mean, she can put a sentence together, so will in some ways be more powerful. But, you know, she just doesn't have the charisma of Donald Trump. And I know some people will shake their heads and say, what charisma? But for many people, he represents charismatic leader. And let's remember, Nikki's a woman and she's not white. So how many Republicans are going to vote for her? Not as many as voted for Trump. So this might be a fairly good scenario for Biden.
Yeah, I think Nikki Haley is siphoning off
Yeah.
quite a bit of Trump's base. Okay, I do see that. I mean, he should have had it by a landslide, like 80 or 90%. If we
Right,
listen to what MAGA has to say, they're like,
right,
Trump's it, he's the god, right? But
right.
what happened was that he did get like 50. He won. Yeah, we admit that. She siphoned off a lot. Now, so here's the thing is, I, even if Trump is the
Yeah,
nominee, he's not going to win. Even if Haley is the nominee, she's not going to win. You know why? Because all of the people who are all about Trump, they're just like, oh, if it's not going to be Trump, I'm not voting.
right,
They
right,
cannot bring themselves to vote for anyone other than their God.
right, right. Yeah. And
Either
it's a
scenario,
cult. Yeah.
yeah, either scenario, because he's pissing off people who are voting for Haley. And most of Haley's base said, I will not vote for Trump if he is it. I will vote for Biden. Most of her base says that already. I will vote for Haley or I will vote for Biden, but I will not vote for Trump. So,
Well, she provides a critique. You know, if a liberal critiques Trump, they're just not going to listen. They're like, "Oh, you just watch NBC." Whereas they are forced to listen to. Look at this guy's cognitive
yes,
decline. He doesn't know who I am. You
yes.
know, like that is how deep the decline is. It is not going to get better before the election.
No.
And so she's almost like the Trojan horse in the Republican Party that's going to help Joe Biden win, I think.
Yes. I think there's a crack, there's something there that I just don't see a pathway for a Republican to win the presidency. So I get
Mhm.
that. So I was gonna do Trump's health, but I think we all know. We all know
We
that
covered
it's
that.
getting bad. We covered that, yeah. So also just an honorable mention that Trump did lose $83.3 million in the Jean Carroll uh
Yeah.
defamation
Wow.
trial again today, so that brings it almost close to $100 million that he owes Eugene. I don't know how
Yeah.
she can make it. If he repeals it, he has to give a bond. Like he has to give all of that money to the bond in order to repeal this whatever. And if he loses, all of that money goes to her. So
Uh-huh.
so he's not doing any much of
Uh-huh.
repeal. He just,
Keep
stomped out like a little baby.
keep
He,
in mind whenever they do appeals, the judge usually reduces the amount.
oh, okay.
And I just think this is the stupidest thing. Like, the jury
They
decides,
may
right?
not for him.
Yeah, they may not. The judges might be pissed off enough that.
Onwards. So, that's an honorable mention. Now I'm gonna take
No,
you,
I'm sure it's.
yeah, I'm gonna take you to North Korea. Okay. I have been I have been watching a lot of North
Okay.
Korea things, and I also post a lot of North Korea things on my TikTok. And the reason why, because of the similarities in the wording and the how they're describing stuff is getting so close to what the Republicans. So here's the thing, and it came to me just the other day as I was watching Kim Jong Un's wall and how it has razor wire and how they have used it to their people, like, hey, we got to keep out the South Korean people, they can't come in. But the truth is they have built the wall to keep the people in. It's
Right.
incredibly horrible. I mean, you escaping North Korea nowadays is just a death sentence at this point.
Right.
So as we do with Texas and Greg Abbott, how he wants to just shoot anybody that comes there with no problem. That's what
Right.
Kim Jong Un says. If anybody's doing that, you just shoot at will. We don't care. You do that. We're good. And that's what Greg Abbott wants. They're doing the wall. They're doing the barbed wire. They're doing. I'm like, my thought is they're building a wall to keep us in, just like they would for North Korea, and they're going to make it palatable for all the Republicans to get behind that. And they're going to
Right.
say, oh, we need to keep them out. Oh, we need to keep them in. Now there's a big wall. Oh, we need to do it at all borders. And all of a sudden, we have a wall around the United States, and we don't even realize what's going on. And one
Mm-hmm.
day, you're not allowed to leave. And one day, you're not allowed to leave your state. Because that's what North Korea does. If everybody stays in the one state, nobody's talking to each other. They lose the power. They gain, and the Kim Jong Un gains the power.
Mm-hmm.
So my question and giving you all of that is how closely related, if you can see, is Trump's idea of how um, to be a dictator. How close is his heart to Kim Jong-un's?
Yeah, that's really like I think the walls are have different purposes, very different purposes. I mean, first of all, Trump did not believe for 1 second that he would build a wall and keep those people out. It's just something that he says. It's a simple thing. It's easy to for anybody to understand. Whenever you hear that "Make America Great Again," you don't really need to explain what that means. So it's kind of a perfect meme in that it needs no description. It also has the word America in it. So when people hear that, it's like a line from a movie. It's very memorable. It's very easy to get where he is going. It doesn't have any real meaning, but Trump just doesn't believe for 1 second in a wall. That is just something for the rubes to believe. Um, Kim Jong Un does believe in a wall, and the wall is essential to his beings. He really does need to keep people from seeing what's going on in South Korea. But they are the same person. I mean, they're essentially selfish people who are looking for power. If you look at either of those people and consider, did they ever do anything for another person? Never. If you look at anything that Trump ever did, it is never, and that's the same as Kim Jong Un. He couldn't care less how many people starved from one year to the next. It's amazing that these two people would be able to politically survive after meeting each other. It's amazing that Trump would have, you know, gone across the planet to find his, deeply held friendship belief with this guy and, still happily brag about it. Dictators admire dictators. So it is really, they are the same person. They just have different places where they play the same game because they are sociopaths. They do not care about anyone in their orbit. I think Trump vaguely cares about a couple of women in his life, only because he vaguely associated it with a tiny bit of love that he received from his mom as a child. I think that's maybe just a very slight difference from Kim Jong Un. They are the same person. They have the same goals, and that's power.
I think his ideology and his conversations, and he's just easing in them. And so this is one of the things that, as like I said, I've been educating myself on North Korea. This is one of the things that they convinced their people at the beginning. Like Kim Jong-un's grandfather, the one that started this all, he told everybody, if you give us all of your land, all of your possessions, what we'll do is distribute all equally, and we will take care of you. Everybody
Mhm.
will get the same food, everybody will get the same housing, all of
Right,
that, right? And they convinced everybody. So once the moment they seduced them into that idea that everything is going to be okay and everybody's going to be taken care of, and they gave up all of their possessions to the regime, that's when they pounced.
right,
And I think that's exactly what they're doing. The Republicans are doing to their own base, right? They're
right.
sweet talking them, giving them this, that, and the other. And once they get what they need, they're
Mhm.
going to pounce, and everybody is going to be under the same umbrella of you're the working force, we're in charge, we're the rich people, we're the dictators.
Right.
You do what we say. And and that's the thing was with North Korean people when they stayed, it took them, and some of them are still under the spell. There's no
Right.
convincing them otherwise. But there's so much suffering going on. We can see that. But there's no convincing the Republicans that they're lying to them. Like they are using them. There's none.
Mhm. Mhm.
And with all of that said, um, we have here in the United States the churches, and this wasn't a much segue, but this is the churches and the marriages and the sanctity and the family unit and all of that, I think it's crumbling so far into ruins. But I want to have you take a look. Is it going to get better? Is it going to get worse? Is it going to shift? Is it going to change? Is it going to look different? I just want to see what you see with the marriage and the church and the sanctity and the religion portion of our whole livelihood that we've
Hmm.
experienced here in the
Hmm.
United States. So what do you
I
see?
do I do get these churches collapsing, and certainly cracks in these churches is what I see. I understand, a new spirituality has evolved, and that's when where you, Sheila, I, Dave, everybody's like, we're the deciders. No one's going to tell me what God is. Nobody's going to hoodwink me and make me think that anything Trump ever did was not completely ungodly and selfish. So at the same time, this new choice has emerged because we all got to choose that. We all got to decide. I'm the decider here. Same time, there is this old church, just exactly as the new earth would happen. Um, Especially, these churches that supported Trump, they really harmed themselves because especially young people are watching this and going, "This isn't right." Just instinctively, they just know that this is not right. That a man who has been convicted of sexual assault should not be the president of the United States, and that there's a sort of they might win tomorrow, but they won't win the next day because young people will grow up. And I'm thinking people, especially in their 20s, who are really discovering new arenas for their spirituality and new powers. They're also noting that the old powers are really just morally decrepit. I think they've also watched their parents' behavior and been like, ew, why are they acting that way? They're not acting with the compassion that we heard about in Sunday school. So a spiritual shift really has happened. I would say it's not going to be fully realized for perhaps 10 years. The people that are, going to vote are still a little bit younger than one expects. So the shift is coming. It's just going to be slow.
Okay, so the last question up is, okay, so you know who Taylor Swift is, correct?
Yeah.
Now she has gotten her base. I mean, they saw the numbers just rise in everybody who was registering to vote. Most of them are registering to vote Democratic. Why? Or independent. Why? Because Taylor Swift is 100% against Trump, right? And the
Right.
Republicans. She's not having none of that. So what I want to know is they're so worried about her that, like we were talking, they're putting, naked pictures of, I mean, they're just doing all kinds of stuff to her now. I want to know what you see the impact. What visually are you seeing the impact that they call them Swifties are impacting the 2024 election?
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I'm the type of person I've never. If you played a Taylor Swift song for me, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know I didn't know it was her, right? That's kind of the person I am. But I really admire her, especially in the image that I'm seeing now. Like, I think she's a good person. And I did see a video where she's like, no way, I'm not giving up my political views. I know I'll make more money if I did, but I don't care. It's too important to me. And she's a great symbol of a woman taking her own power and saying, no, I don't care about the money. I care about my nation. I care about people. I care about women. I get the feeling, for example, that she is, one reason that she's doing this is because she's not racist and not homophobic. That's just the bottom line for her. These things are, as far as she's concerned, wrong. And it's a pretty evolved person, for a rock star. We don't usually think about being that evolved. She's very strong looking, and it does hurt it is like the attacks do hurt her. She's not a superwoman. She can't help but feel the way that some people are treating her. I mean, and she's just like us, we're all experiencing this. She shows up as huge, like a giant, and super, super strong. So are you going to be able to convince some people? And she goes like this: some people I'm going to convince to vote, not a huge percentage, but it could be enough. It could be enough to change this election. It could be enough to change a couple of Senate seats. And, it is enough. It's almost like she's showing me an inch, but she's saying, this is enough. And she's also saying something really great. This is what I can do, right? This is what's available to me. I cannot change everything, but I can do my part here. And I think that's a great message for all of us. We cannot change everything, but we could be, nice to someone today and, um, really encouraging to someone who's in a difficult place. That's the difference we can make today. And she looks at me and she's like, yeah, if I were just a regular housewife, I would have like the exact same attitude of this is what I can do. And that's the important portion of it. People, and this is kind of Swift, kind of me. People want agency. They want the ability to change the way things are. And the frustrations we've had with our government are we've just gotten to the point where we cannot do anything. We can't even get health care for all people, even though we agree with it. We can't even get kids, we can't even stop kids getting shot because our system has become so messed up. So we just do what we can. Taylor Swift is no different from us. She is heroic, doing her best, and it's not ego based. It is based on what she thinks is right or wrong. And it's not a selfish act. And I think it's a great contrast that we have these recordings of her not doing what's financially best for her. And then we have Donald Trump who does nothing but what is financially best for her. These icons, these people who show up, especially with names like Trump and Swift, they really do have like kind of iconic meanings. But remember that we are powerful too in our own way. And she's feeling that sort of, people united kind of feeling that gives me a lot of hope for the future.
Yeah, me too. I thoroughly think that all of the pushback the Republicans are doing is just pushing her base just to to come in droves.
Uh-huh.
And I do think that they're going to make a difference in those states,
Uh-huh.
for the Senate and the House and Representatives,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
I still see each and every one of them blue. Every time I look, just to take a temperature look, like, okay, what do they look like? And I see a block of presidency blue, a block of House blue, and a block of the Senate still blue. I see
Mm-hmm.
every time. I honestly think that there's something big that's happening before June 6th. We have all kind of read about it in the predictions and stuff that
Yeah.
maybe, just maybe, the House of Representatives is going to turn blue
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of all. I mean, they're already mad at Magic Mike,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
They're
know?
they're dropping like flies.
Yeah,
Everything's gonna change in the next year.
yeah, they're gonna really feel the impact of their moves, all the moves that they think that they were gaining. I think they're really gonna feel the impact of, no, you were losing.
Right, right. And it's just delayed, everyone. I mean, it's about time. We should have, figured this out, in 2016.
Yeah,
But there really is things that we have to go through. We have to learn how to work together. I mean, Democrats always had the job of a bunch of people who disagree
yeah,
and may not be the same race or gender have to come together and say, but we do agree about this. We have to compromise. Republicans don't really have to compromise. They don't have to appeal that. They appeal only to the extremists because Republicans will vote for Republicans no matter what. It's an
They don't
interesting
have
time
enough
that we live in.
extremists to get them in power. That's the thing is they are
Yeah,
not understanding that there's not enough extremists out there that are going to vote you into power.
right, right. Well,
You
they believe that money would change that election, and it did. I mean,
yeah.
the Supreme Court made sure Trump got elected because you can give as much money to anybody you want. You think the insurance companies or oil companies are just going to sit there and let a Democrat regulate them? No.
Yeah.
You know, it's an interesting time. But I would like everybody just to look at their successes whenever you feel stressed. But yeah, we all succeeded. We are making the shift, the difficult shift to a new earth.
That is true. And that's the one message that I really want to leave us with is that we're making it. We're doing it. We're in the middle of it. We are getting to the point we're going to the other side. I know I get a lot of comments, man, I'm so tired of it. I'm like, we all are. But we cannot give up in the middle of the race, the fight, in the transition. We can't give up in the middle of it.
No.
We were built for this transition.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I want to everybody to know. We were built for this. And so take a deep breath. We're still going, and one day we're gonna sit back and we're gonna just like years from now, we're gonna sit back and go, man, that was horrible, but we made it.
How do we do it? Yes.
I
Yeah.
have a feeling that a lot of the light workers that came to Earth to create enough energy to get us back up and over this, I think we're going to see that they're all going, they're going to go, okay, I'm done. I'm bye. I'm done. Bye. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we're probably going to see a really big exit, but it's okay if they leave now. They're like, that was hard work. I'm punching my my work, punching it, and ting ting, I'm out. But anyways, all right. Well, thank you, everyone. Do you have any last words for everyone?
If you're feeling blue, if you're feeling like this is overwhelming, look at your successes and don't hesitate to ask people for help. Tell people who you can trust, how exhausted you are, how tired you are, and together you can commiserate about this and you'll just make that friendship better.
That is so true. So true. All right, everyone. Thanks.
Thanks very much for watching.
And I will not be bullied by that.